Welcome to the Coach Teddy Keaton Show here on HBCU Gameday. I am Sylvester Williams. They call me Sly the Sports Guy, and I am joined by the one and only Coach Teddy Keaton. How you doing, Coach?
Well, I've been better. Been on suicide watch.
Oh,
When you lose and it just, you're just working so hard to get a win and it just don't seem to want to find you.
I tell you, I got all my people posted by the bridges all day around Clark, making sure you don't go nowhere, Coach. We still need you, Coach.
Well, I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
I'm here. I'm still focused.
There you go.
We just, all jokes aside, I'm still so proud of the young men. They doing a great job. They fighting, but we just hadn't finished yet. Make one or two more mistakes that we shouldn't make. We got to do a better job as coaches. Got to do a better job as players. We got to do a better job as an organization to be able to get what we're trying to get out of this.
One day I hope to reach the level of maturity that you have reached, Coach, in your old age.
It's emotional intelligence. Okay. That's all it is.
I don't have any, Coach.
I mean, I've been trained to play the next play, see a little, see a lot, see nothing. I'm a thermostat. I'm not a thermometer. I set the temperature. I don't read the temperature.
Gotcha. Well, in case you're wondering, the Clark Atlanta Panthers went up to Frankfort, Kentucky. Took that bus ride up 75 and hung a left at Lexington. They head all the way up to Frankfort, and they played the Kentucky State Thoroughbreds. Red hot Thoroughbreds. Well, came into town, and let's break down the game. Let's tell what happened. You guys end up winning the toss and deferring to the second half. You deferred. Your defense came out, gave up one first down, but then you held them, forced a punt. Defense started out strong. They started out strong, and now you guys got the ball. Couldn't quite get on track. Had a nice opening pass for 25 yards, hit Amon Harris for 25 yards to get the day started. Now, Amon ended up putting up some numbers, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But then after that first 25-yard pass, you had a 3-yard rush, and then 2 incomplete passes forced a punt. Young Carlos Lopez came in with another punt, and then it was 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, Kentucky State, your defense comes out there one more time, and the defense steps up real big. You got down to 3rd and 1, but then the defense came in, and Eric Searcy came in and tackled the running back for a 3-yard loss to force the punt. So two drives in a row, 2 punts in a row. Good job by the defense. Now, you guys will get it one more time. Start at the 46-yard line. Jackson throws an incomplete pass. Then he completes a short one to Ronnie West for 11 yards. And then Allen Riggins, he'll rush for 2 yards. And then Jackson throws an interception. He tried to get it in there and got intercepted by Lawrence McConnell. And that was might have been one of the few bad passes that young man threw all game.
That's correct. I think Xavier had a great game. I think he second-guessed himself on that throw. I think he thought that he could fit the ball into it, and he pushed it just a little hard. But I pat him on the back and say, play the next play.
All right, here you go. Well, Kentucky State will have it 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line, and they did not waste any time. 80-yard touchdown pass straight down the field. Caught one of the DBs a little bit slipping. Threw it over the top. Young man, Darius Cyprian. That name will be a thorn in the side for the entire evening.
Well, I'm just going to just not make it look like the kid is super. I'm talking about spectacular. The ball he threw for that touchdown is almost like he said 1,000, 2,000, let it go, and he ran up under. He blew past 2 DBs.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, number 10 from Kentucky State, Darius Cyprian. You are the man. You got 2 helmet stickers from Coach Keaton. You are the man.
I tell you what, he very impressive guy, man. Cyprian could be Superman. I don't know, it might be short for Superman, but very impressive young man. Well, anyway, we'll get the ball back. we'll get the ball back, and then after a spectacular return, we'll start off at the 47-yard line, and then Jalen Samuels, he'll rush for 2 yards, and then Jalen will rush for another 2. And then I like how you start feeding Samuels. Samuels picked up 2 yards, picked up 8 yards, then he picked up 4 yards, then he picked up 3, and that brought up 3rd and 3, and Xavier completed a short pass to Amon Harris for the first down. And then you brought in Allen Riggins. Allen Riggins ran for 5, and then Xavier Jackson completed another short pass to Amon Harris. That Jackson-Harris connection is definitely working. It's on point to start this game off. Riggins will rush for another 3 yards, and then Xavier, he'll complete a pass to Riggins. Jalen Samuels will rush for 2. Trayvon Pender will rush for 3, and it's 2nd and 6 at the Kentucky State 6-yard line, and that's the end of the first quarter. So you're down 8-0 in the first quarter. Your defense is doing pretty well in that first quarter. That one big play kind of been a thorn in our side all year long, just the one big play. But other than that, defense playing a good game, and you're advancing the ball down the field. We'll flip the field. It's 3rd and 3 at the 3-yard line. Try to hand it off to Riggins. He gets tackled for a 4-yard loss. Couldn't quite get going on that one. And then you bring in your young freshman, Lopez. Lopez comes in and nails another field goal. Lopez, astounding year as your field goal kicker for a freshman, coach.
I'm very proud of him. I told you he came in, he handles all 3 parts of the kicking game. And I thought he did a really good job in every game he's played in. He the epitome of every drop shot in with a kick. It's good to have him on your side when you got to do that.
All right, you give it back to Kentucky State. Kentucky State, they'll get it. This time they'll start 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. They'll have a quick handoff run, pick up a few yards, and then they hit you with a 54-yard touchdown pass, and then they'll kick the extra point, and that'll put the score up to 15-3. 15-3 in the second quarter. You guys will get it back one more time, and this time their offense bogs down a little bit. So you stuck with a 3 and out. 15-3. Then here's the thing about that 3 and out. You guys punted away, but the football gods were on your side. They were on your side, and Kentucky State muffed the punt, and you guys got it back. You had some issues on special teams this year, but now special teams kind of came through for you. Picked up that muff punt. I think that might be the first one.
Special teams has been pretty solid for us with a bunch of young guys. I'm talking about guys that don't see the field. They've done a really good job. We gave up 1 touchdown on special teams this year, and that was against Benedict. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Everybody else, they've done a really good job on punt coverage. We've recovered some onside kicks. Now, if one area of the game that I'm very proud about is Carlos and his young men.
Yeah.
They've done a really good job, and you can see the camaraderie that they have built amongst themselves and kind of going back and forth with each other. So I'm happy with those guys, man.
All right.
I mean, that was a big play for us. That means they were hustling down. He muffed the kick. That's a lot you could tell about your special teams is when a guy's not hustling, because things like that happen. A muff kick happened, anything else, and we right there to flop on the ball, which gave us life again to have a second opportunity to kind of make up for that mistake of the INT.
All right. So now you guys will get it. 1st and 10. Ball on the 46-yard line. Try to hit Ronnie West, an incomplete pass, but then Dante McCall, he'll rush for 2 yards. And then Xavier Jackson, he'll hit Sellers for a 14-yard gain. You'll give it up to Dante McCall one more time for a 3-yard rush. And then Xavier Jackson goes on a little roll right here. He completes 4 passes in a row. And then the next thing you know, he'll get it down all the way to the 13-yard line, and then he links up with Amon Harris. He'll link up with Amon Harris for a 12-yard touchdown catch for Amon Harris, and that'll bring the score 10-5. Talked about that connection. Amon being a senior, Jackson being a freshman. This year's their first year knowing each other, even knowing each other. And now it just seems like that connection is kind of on point with those two.
Knowing is a little far-fetched.
Okay.
Playing with each other.
Playing with each other. Okay.
They went to the same high school.
But Amon about 5 years older than
That's
him.
right, but they bring them up in the 8th and 9th grade.
Okay.
They kind of grew up in the same community, so they all know each other. So, he looked up to Amon and David, as they were playing football. He actually emulated David. I wanted to be, David Wright when he was going through high school. So, he's a guy that they kind of know each other. And I think Amon has demonstrated his leadership as he spends time with him, showing him, the reads and what he's going to do. And I think they got a great chemistry right now. And I think Amon's having a great year simply, for when we first started out, you had 0 and 2, which was David Martin and Ronnie West. They were having good years and starting off, but now it's 3 of them on there. That's the 3-headed monster that you have to cover. So they have to figure out which one every week that might not have a good year. Amon's going to get his catches, Ronnie's going to get his, and Zero's going to get his. And I think that's what I love about Jackson. He has demonstrated his ability to find the open player and put the ball where it needs to be.
He does. He kind of looks older than what he is when he's out there. Looks a little bit wiser than what he is when he's out there throwing the ball around, the decision-making that he makes. All right, so Kentucky State will have it. They'll start at the 38-yard line. After a few incomplete passes, 2 small rushes, then they'll hit a nice deep ball to John McCall, and he'll get a touchdown right there. It's the one play, Coach. The one play. Defense holds, then the one big play.
Defensive backs, I think their eyes were in the backfield a little bit too much. And that's what happens when you play a team like Coach Huggins, who has a RPO-style offense. If you try to stop the run, you shut it down, and you commit too many people to the box, he has enough weapons at receivers that he could throw them and get you over the top. So he did a really good job of play calling. My shot go out to Coach Huggins. Good job of play calling, good way of mixing it up, and getting the ball to his playmakers. Those guys he got some playmakers on that team, and he did a good job of distributing the ball to them.
All right, now coming up, I think this is the one right here. This is the one for me. What I like to say, this might have been the drive of the game right here. You guys are down. You're down 22-10, down 22-10. Guys still got a lot of fight in them. They want to drive down the field right here. Xavier, he'll complete a short pass to David Martin. Tries to go back to Martin. It was incomplete. Then he'll complete another pass to Sellers, and this was a 30-yard pickup. You'll hand it off to David Martin for a 3-yard rush, and then an incomplete pass to Amon Harris. Then you'll complete a short pass to Amon Harris for 19 yards. You call timeout, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the half. Try to get that timeout in before the 2-minute warning. Next thing you know, you'll complete it's an incomplete pass. Then you'll complete a deep 32-yard pass to Ronnie West that'll get you to first and goal on the 1-yard line, and possibly what could have been the play of the game. Bad snap, goes over the quarterback's head. Kentucky State picks it up with about 1:05 to go in the half. What happened? Was it a little miscommunication on the snap, or what happened on that one?
Well, today is the first day I'll get to see him at practice. I'm going to ask that question. I didn't bother him at the game because sometimes, those guys go through things, and you got a veteran senior center snapping the ball to a freshman quarterback, and maybe the freshman quarterback was looking off and thought he had, I don't know, maybe it was miscommunication. I don't know what it was. I'm not going to insinuate on what it was, but I know that it hurt. I think it was the momentum switcher right there. Yeah. We had a chance to pull within. The reason why you defer is now you get a chance. You get that score. They don't get the ball back. We come back. We get the ball back. Now it's 17-22. We got a chance to go up, get a touchdown. We up 24-22. We got a ball game, folks. But instead, we snap the ball over the head. They get the ball back, and you can tell them what happened next.
Well, Kentucky State will get it with 1:05 to go, and then that's when Denham Johnson goes to work. He hits Darius Cyprian one time for a quick pass, and then he'll hit Cyprian one more time for a 44-yard gain. Then Elsie, he'll rush for 5 yards, and Elsie will rush for another 4 yards, and boom, he's in the end zone. Touchdown. Now the score is 29-10 going into the half. That was a heartbreaker going into halftime like that, Coach.
And I think we just, we got behind 2-3. That's 3 possessions right there. You get behind right there. They ripped off 4 straight TDs there. And now you put yourself in a position that you're going to be playing catch up the rest of the game. And how they run their offense now is I'm going to slow it down and make sure that we milk as much time off the clock as we can, and we'll methodically drive the ball down to take as much time away, because we do have an offense that's potent. We can score a lot. Not as fast as we used to score, but we're getting back to that point where we can score really fast. So now with that being said, now you're talking about I'm going to make 12 plays or 10 plays or 8-play drives to make so that time is just strolling and strolling and strolling. Even if they score, we're going to answer them. But we're going to do it methodically slower.
Mm-hmm. Well, going to halftime, we have the halftime speech, and we come back out. You guys will get it. You'll start out 1st and 10 on the 25. Then you complete a pass for 5 yards, and then Riggins will rush for another 12. Then he'll pick up 3 more, and then it's an incomplete pass. And then we get a false start. You hadn't had, I don't think, any penalties up to that point. Maybe one, but you'll pick up a false start. That'll move you back. And then on 3rd and 12, it was an incomplete pass to Trayvon Pender, and then you have to punt it away.
Again, those false starts, different things of that nature, that's what's getting off schedule. Gets us off schedule. Once you get a penalty with a young quarterback, that learning how to play the next play. And sometimes everybody look at it, and when you have a young team, their emotions play a role in it. And when their emotions play a role in it, now you got to dig them out because they saw a failure moment. They didn't saw 2 failure moments. That's when that failure creeps in a little bit. So now as coaches, we have to coach them up. Hey, play the next play, get it going. And we got off schedule. I had to punt the ball. Here we go again.
All right. We'll punt it again, and Kentucky State will have it. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line, and Denham Johnson will throw a pass out to the flat to Darius Cyprian, and Cyprian outruns everybody, Coach. He outran everybody. It's 81 yards.
I'm calling the USA track team.
I'm telling you.
And tell them they need to sign that kid up. I mean, he was out there. He balled. I mean, shouts out to him. I mean, when you got playmakers like that, that's elusive. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how I can get me one of them.
All right. Well, that'll make the score 10-36, 36-10. You guys will get it back one more time. And then Xavier Jackson, he'll hit Amon Harris for 23 yards. And then after that first down, we'll go back one more time and have to punt it away. You did manage to get, Elijah Miller got involved a little bit. He caught a pass out the backfield, but it wasn't quite enough. 4th and 2, you guys had to punt it away. Punting away on 4th and 2. Score still 36-10. And then the defense will come back out there. The defense still showing they got a lot of fight, Coach. Still showing they got a lot of fight. They hold Kentucky State and hold them to a 3-and-out, force them to punt it away. Now you guys will have it back. Quite honestly, game 10-36, Coach. 10-36. You're 12 hours away from the house. A lot of teams would have said it's time to go home, Coach.
We're not doing that. Not on the Teddy Keaton coach team. My kids can't quit. They know that. I'll make you quit before I let you quit on me. So those things don't happen, and I think our kids shows a lot of resilience. A really good Kentucky State football team, but it's not about them right now. We have none of that in front of us. We have developmental. We have the things that we need to do. It's about what we do. So we came back, and I was very proud of my kids for working hard to not. I told you earlier that we talk about being a thermostat or a thermometer. Are you going to set the temperature or are you going to read the temperature? So right now, Kentucky State is setting the temperature of what it's going to look like and setting the tone.
Well, let's go and look at it. You guys will get it back. After a 6-yard return, it'll be 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. You'll start off with the running game one more time. Gibbs, he'll rush for 2 yards. Then you get another complete pass to Amon Harris for 26 yards. He's just picking up chunks and chunks of real estate all game. Then you'll complete a short pass to Ronnie West for 18 yards. Then Xavier Jackson is sacked. The only sack that happened in the game. He got sacked this game. Offensive line did a pretty decent job. Only gave up 1 sack.
Yeah, I think that was on our play call. We called a play that took a little too long to develop, and I think that by the time he got to where he wanted to get the ball out of his hand, they got to him, so he kind of balled up and just took the sack.
All right. Well, you'll get it. It's now 2nd and 19, and now you'll try to find Ronnie West down the sideline, but it's a pass interference call, and so that'll give you first down. You hand it back off to Jalen Samuels. He'll pick up 5, and then it's an incomplete pass, and then another 25-yard pass to Ronnie West, and then here it is, 1st and 3 at the 3-yard line. You'll find Amon Harris one more time for a 3-yard touchdown. Amon Harris scores his next touchdown, so now the score is now 16-36, Coach. Still in here fighting and clawing away. All right. We'll get the ball back one more time. Well, Kentucky State will get it with 1:38 to go in the quarter. 1:38 to go in the quarter. They'll try to move the ball up the field, and then they'll push all the way down to a 4th and 4, and then that'll be the end of the third quarter. Now, at the end of the third quarter, you come in. This fourth quarter, the score is 4th and 4. 4th and 4. So now we'll figure out they end up giving up the first down, but your defense holds tight one more time. They'll hold tight. The next 3 plays were incomplete passes, and then they attempted a 47-yard field goal that missed. So your defense held up, and once again, the team's showing a lot of resilience. I mean, just being honest, you're looking at that scoreboard. A lot of teams would have just went on and packed on up, Coach. A lot of teams would have went on and packed up. Clark Atlanta did not take the easy route.
Again, we don't focus in on the scoreboard. We play the next play. You hear me talk about even in life, you can't, compare yourself to the scoreboard, records, what's going on. Everybody have a season. Everybody have a chance. It's like, the business world is divided up into 4 quarters. And, whatever quarter you in, you may be doing good in the first quarter, but all that matters is that bottom line number. And I see the growth. You can see all the resilience you want to see in the young men. You notice that they're not falling apart, even when they down by that much. All that stuff, Bobby Bowden, I think he said it. First, you lose big, then you lose close, then you win close, and then you win big. Mm-hmm. So when you hear that, and you think about what he said there, when you start off with young men and you're trying to build them, we're starting to lose some games. We were losing them, a little gap was between them. And now you start to see them narrow that gap down. And then now we've lost a few close ones that we should have won. And now those guys are seeing that they can play with anybody. And we played in the last 4 games the top half of the SIAC. Mm-hmm. And we've lost to those guys, but they play really well. So I'm just, we cut back on a few of the mistakes, and we coach a little bit better in the areas we need to do, and we develop. And we got some recruiting areas we need to hit, and we need to address those recruiting areas. I think we might have ourselves a pretty good CAU football team.
I think you will. Well, now Clark will take the ball now. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. You'll try to move the ball down the field. Incomplete to start off on first down, but Xavier Jackson, he'll hit Amon Harris for a 14-yard gain. Then you'll complete another deep pass to Derek White for 31 yards. Now, Derek White coming in, getting some run. Next thing you know, Xavier, he'll run for 3 yards, and then it's an incomplete pass. And then we'll run, Allen Riggins will run for another 3 yards, and it's 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 now on 4th and 4 on the 19-yard line. No field goal unit, nothing like that. Time to go for it, Coach. So Xavier Jackson, he'll complete a short pass to Amon Harris for 19 yards, and Amon Harris will get in the end zone one more time for Amon. Amon having a pretty big day. That's 3 touchdowns. And you try to go for 2, but came up short on the going for 2.
To put it all into perspective, to watch them, that drive right there really told me who we were. I thought they fought really hard in that drive. I mean, there was some things that there was some I thought pass interference, maybe holding, different things of that nature there. To watch them claw, Amon just to step up and play the way he was playing in that drive as well. Then you had Mike White. White came in, Derek White. That's a name you haven't heard. Another guy. We're reaching deep down in the bag now because we got a lot of little players they're coming off some injuries, but there's still some with a lot of nicks and bobos. So we're starting to have to play guys more than we want to. But I really like the way that they did. Now the 2-point conversion, we got to close the deficit, so we had to go for 2. So we tried our 2-point conversion, and obviously we tried it more than once, and we wasn't able to be successful. So this week we got to work on a few more 2-point conversion plays.
All right, here you go. Now after that, they'll get the ball back. Score is now 22-36. 22-36 got us a ball game, 2-touchdown ball game. Kentucky State will get it 1st and 10 at the 30. Defense will kind of hold a little bit, give up a couple of first downs, and then the next thing you know, Denham Johnson will hit that guy Darius Cyprian one more time for a 35-yard touchdown.
Jesus.
Golly.
We should have took it. I don't know why. What we gonna do to stop that guy? I think he's still scoring on me right now.
I tell you what, if this little league football, it'd be one of the ones we got to check his birth certificate.
I still give him a shot. He got 2 helmet stickers for me. The guy's a beast. He did a great job.
All right. Well, now the score is 43-22. 43-22. Your guys come back out there. You'll line it back up. First down, you'll complete a pass to Amon Harris for 27 yards. Then you go one more time, an incomplete pass to David Martin. And then you'll hit Amon Harris one more time for 28 yards and another Amon Harris touchdown.
Let's rewind the tape right there. See, now you down 43-22. That's the way you do the heat check.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way possible. We're in the 4th quarter now. There's no way possible that we can come back unless we could just happen a miracle in Christmas. Mm-hmm. That's the point where you want to check to see if your team going to quit. You want to see what they got, look in their eyes. Are they going to still go back out there, or are they going to start playing for themselves? All those bad habits start to show up in those moments to see what happened. How did they respond? They went back out, and they scored a touchdown. That means they're hearing the message, keep playing, or keep carrying the water till it turns to wine, because it's going to turn to wine. We've all been here before. I know I have with young teams that you got to watch them to see who quits and who checks out on you. You got to watch the temperature on the sideline to make sure they're not arguing with each other, making sure they got each other's back. You got to check. That's when all your emotional intelligence come into play, and you're building resilience, and they learn to just play. Just play. Don't focus on the scoreboard. We're worried about what we're doing, and they did that.
Well, they did. Now they'll get down, and like you said, we'll score with Amon Harris. Try to go for the 2. The 2 didn't convert. And then Kentucky State will get it, and they'll just run the clock out, and that'll be the end of the game. And then that'll end up being your final score. Final score 28-43, 28-43, Kentucky State on top. Kentucky State, red hot team, Coach. They done won 6 in a row. They run 6 in a row, but they had a superhuman performance from one of their guys, man. This Darius Cyprian had a super game. But sometimes it just happens like that, Coach. But we go and break down some of the stats, and we look at some of your guys, man. Your young freshman quarterback, Xavier Jackson. Xavier Jackson, this might have been game of his life, man. He played a really, really great game. If you pull up the stats for Xavier Jackson, he was 32 for 45, 425 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. The young man had a awesome game. Awesome game, Coach.
Proud of Xavier. I don't really want to, I tell you every week, I mean, he just amazes me. Sometimes you look at him and you forget that he is a true freshman who came right out of high school. He's bought into what he's, being taught. Coach Cunningham is doing a really good job with that young man. And David Wright, I can't leave David Wright out, his grad assistant coach, and he's doing a good job with him. It's good to have your mentor and the mentee together, and they both working together and being able to coach him through situations. That's a big thing there.
All right. Now the young guy Harris, he was throwing. I mean, the young guy Xavier Jackson, he was throwing to somebody, and his main target was Amon Harris. Amon had 15 catches for 225 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now I've been watching Amon a couple of years now. I've been watching him since Allen. I guess you've been coaching him for a couple of years now. I don't remember him ever catching 15 balls in a game. Has he ever caught that
I
many?
think he has. I mean,
I know he
Amon's,
came close, but 15.
I think he had. I think his highest was 16 in the game.
Okay.
He had 16, and I think that was a week ago. He had 16 catches.
He had 16 a week ago.
Yeah, he had 16 a week ago, I believe.
Nah, coach.
I think he did. He had 16 either targets or 16 catches.
It might have been targets.
Well, I know this ain't his first game of 16 catches because this year he's been, other than Ronnie, he's been our go-to primary receiver. So he's done a lot, I mean he's top of the leaderboard in the conference right now. I mean Amon's been Amon. Mm-hmm. We knew what we had when we got him. Amon's a good football player. He works hard. He tries to get what he's trying to get. I'm super appreciative of having Amon on my team. So I've coached him since he came out of high school, and he's just brought nothing but great value to our program.
I'm glad you mentioned what he's doing in the conference. If you look at his conference stats right now, he currently leads the conference in receptions. He has 67 receptions on the year. The nearest person has 45. The nearest person has 45. By far and away, leading receiver in the conference. You look at his total yardage. He has 857 yards. The nearest person has 781. So he leads in receptions, leads in receiving yards. He has 8 touchdowns on the year. So he's second in the conference by himself for receiving touchdowns with 8, averaging 95 yards a game. Young man is having a spectacular year this year.
I mean, of course, he had a 1,000-yard receiving year last year. If he gets 200 yards in this game, he gets another back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver. He's our only D2 All-American, AFCA D2 All-American. So, I mean, Amon the sky's the limit for Amon. He's done his thing. He's done his big ups to him. And unfortunately, he's playing on a bad team right now that we're not, winning the games we need to win to be able to put ourselves in a position to win a championship. And I know that's what he came back for, but he has held his start and did his part of helping us be who we need to become. And he's been one of those great individuals.
He definitely has, man. What a great senior year that young man is having. Big time senior, and I think he's a Legacy Bowl invite. Am I correct?
Yeah, he's gotten an invitation.
Okay, yeah, great senior year that Amon Harris is having so far. Coming up on that last game, this is the game. It's been a tough year, but if it's one game that can make everything right, Coach, it's this game we're going to play this week, the Battle of the AUC. You know what? They don't have a name for this game, Coach.
It's the Big Cat.
It ain't. I don't know. They need a name for this game. They don't have a name for this game, Coach.
Well, I'll say this to start off. You said it's that one game that will make everything. No one game will define or make or break a team. We still not where we want to be as a unit.
Well, it'll make people feel better.
It'll make the fans feel better. It'll make the offseason look good. Yeah. It'll make us going in, if we can get a win here, it would be really nice. But we're disappointed in the outcome. I'm not disappointed in the process. If you want to be happy with the outcome of the games, yes, that's what you want to be happy with. But I'm very happy with the process of how we're going about developing the young men in an era when nobody wants to develop young men anymore. So if you look around on the team, you see a lot of young guys and a lot of older guys that have made tremendous progress, but we haven't always been able to put it together. I told the players at halftime, they don't give crowns to people who start stuff. They give crowns to people who know how to finish.
True.
And our guys are trying to learn how to finish. And once those guys figure out how to finish a ball game and play a complete 4 quarters, you got to think about when you come from high school and you playing, I think it's 12-minute quarters. Is it 12 minutes, 12-minute quarters?
12 minutes at high school.
And then now you put 3 more minutes on there in each one of those quarters. And now you got to push through TV timeouts, commercials. We've been on TV a lot.
Every game,
just knowing how to mentally prepare yourself, not just for the football game, but for all the breaks that's got to happen in the game that stops the momentum. And they're not used to start, stop. So you got to learn how to do that. And I think our kids are getting much better at that.
I think they are. Well, Coach, you gotta take on Morehouse this week. Morehouse this week, you're gonna be facing a pretty hot quarterback coming in. Miles Scott, youngster from Morehouse. He's thrown for he has 4 300-yard passing games. 4 300-yard passing games, and I think he is on the brink of becoming Morehouse's all-time leading passer in a little bit. So now you're gonna have to step up and play him. Because this is a rivalry game, you're playing the people across the street from you, Coach. What's different about this week when it comes to your preparation and everything? How do you handle all the hoopla that goes around the game? This game is almost as big as homecoming.
Exactly, and I think our kids understand what we're trying to accomplish. We've trained them since day one about their approach to everything they do. It's a new week. We don't care who the opponent is. You don't play an opponent, you play yourself. Mm-hmm. So let's not get caught up in the hype. Let's worry about what we can control, and that's how we prepare and what we're going to bring to the table that week. And I think the kids, if they take that approach to it, we don't care who the team is. It doesn't matter. There's a lot of good football players on Morehouse's team. You got the tight end. Mm-hmm. You got the 2 running backs. You got number 2. You got another number 1. I mean, there's a lot of players that play good football over there. I think that shout out to Terrence Mathis. He's doing a tremendous job with that program. They're inching along the way. They was red hot here on the back end, and we still super cold right now. So there's a lot for both teams to prove here. They want to get the trophy back. We own the trophy right now. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of things that's got to happen, and it would be great if we could end the season with a win.
It definitely would be. So it's going to be a home game at Clark Atlanta University Panther Stadium, our senior night. So you'll get to, bid adieu to some of the great seniors that you have out there. You'll get to bid adieu to them. Their families will be out, and hopefully the fans will be out there live and supporting you. Your fans been strong this year, Coach.
Man, look, keep supporting us, keep riding. I appreciate the band, the cheerleaders, the alumni, the faculty, the staff, the students. They have been there. They have not turned their backs on us, even though we're 2-7. They have not turned their backs on us. I'm very proud that they sticking with us because they, as we all know, it's a process to it. And I'm very proud of my administration, Dr. French, Dr. Drew, all those guys that bring Clark Atlanta football to where we're trying to bring it to. I'm very appreciative of them.
Well, I tell you what, man, we're getting close to that point, getting close to that time. We forgot to tell you about the Anthony Lawrence collection, Coach. We didn't talk about the Anthony Lawrence collection. All the good clothes out there at Anthony Lawrence Collection. You can go and check them out at www.anthonylawrencecollection.com, or you can go on his Instagram at The New College Flavor. Go and check out Anthony Lawrence for all your clothing. You can go and check out that Teddy Keaton line. They had that Teddy Keaton line up there, his signature line. Xavier Jackson has a signature line. Thornton, the young lady who's the coach at Alabama A&M, she has her line. Anthony Lawrence Collection. He is fully licensed with the NCAA, and you can pick up all your HBCU wear.
I got on one today. It's a short sleeve. Cut off the stitch right here. Yeah. That's Anthony Lawrence Collection. Made it for one game. I don't remember what game I had it on, but it was up there towards the earlier of the season, and he does a really good job there.
He does, man. So make sure you check out the Anthony Lawrence Collection. Go and get you some nice clothes so you can look fresh like Coach over there. You can look fresh. Well, this is the Coach Teddy Keaton Show. He is Coach Teddy Keaton. I am Sylvester Williams, and this is the Coach Teddy Keaton Show here on HBCU Game Day. We'll see you next week.